Hey everyone, it's Ryan here with another June 2020 cargo trailer build conversion update video. June has been a crazy month. It's really hot here in Texas. It's been a challenging build. I've had some real frustrations. I've had some health issues. The weather's been uncooperative with crazy storms and tornadoes nearby. It's just been a crazy month and it's not even over yet, but I wanted to just kind of bring you up to speed, show you all the pictures from the build. I did flooring, ceiling, walls, some electrical, even some solar panel related stuff, all of that. So this video is all about a build update, but I also am going to share some of the craziness that's going on in the world right now as of June 2020, some of the personal challenges and frustrations that I've been experiencing, and maybe give you some build tips and tricks. And so before we dive into it though, hit the like button and please subscribe if you want to get all of the build updates, to see my progress, to see the travels that I take in the cargo trailer, which is going to haul me and my motorcycle to national parks and all over the country as I begin a nomadic movement, a nomadic journey to be a remote worker and explore the country more. And oh, also stick around to the very end because I just got a new package in the mail about an hour ago. It's about a 5 foot long box. I think I know what it is, but I'm going to unbox that and open it up for you at the very end. So stick around and let's dive into it. Let me show you what I've done so far this month. So in this clip, I'm just loading up the motorcycle, I think for the second time, but the first time with my actual wheel chock to hold it in place. So I pulled the cargo trailer into my front yard. I broke out the ramp. That folding aluminum ramp is about 330 bucks on Amazon. It's a little expensive, but worth it and pretty strong. But no worries. So I had never ridden my bike up a ramp before, and certainly not into a cargo trailer. So that's a little bit sketchy, but I got it. So it fit. I put it into the chock, and you might notice how bright the back brake light is. I didn't realize it at the time, but my brake light was always on. And so something I'm working on fixing now. But that was kind of fun. I put it up in there. It fit into the wheel chock. I needed to do that to see how the bike and the bed would work together. And that worked pretty good. So I'm happy with the arrangement of the bike and the bed side by side like that. One of the challenges I faced was that I was going to get help. I have a guy I rent some land from who's around, but he's older than I am by a good 10 years. And he was going to help me get the air conditioner, which is very heavy, up on the roof of the cargo trailer. And then he actually had the bright idea of having some painters, these two young guys that were painting his house, help out. But then storms came and they got delayed, and that didn't work out. So it started to get really hot, like 95, 98 degrees, and I simply couldn't work in the cargo trailer with the heat. I just can't take it. And it's humid too. So I had to get the air conditioner up on the roof. I was working alone. I didn't really have a method, but I had to get it done. So I figured out, since my cargo trailer is backed up to a ramp, if I put a ladder on the ramp leaning against the back doors of the cargo trailer, it created a nice smooth sloped surface, the face of the aluminum ladder, that I could take the air conditioner, which was sitting on a pallet, and if I could at least lift it to like waist height and sort of lean it on the aluminum ladder, that I could just shove it, like slide it, sort of like doing an overhead press, slide it up the ladder, and as long as the pallet could get over the top edge of the ladder, it would have sort of a resting point, at which point I could sort of climb up a couple of steps and shove it onto the roof. So that's what I did. I just grabbed, I was very careful, but I just grabbed the air conditioner and basically heaved it up on the ladder, gave it a good hard push, slid it up there, very carefully crawled up there. And then I had prepared the surface with plywood, so that I would have a surface that I could slide the air conditioner and the pallet all the way to the center of the roof without scratching up the white elastomeric coating that's on the cargo trailer roof. So that's how I got the air conditioner on there. One of the challenges that I've had this month here in June is that I somehow managed, for the second time in 12 months, I've managed to scratch my cornea. I did it almost exactly a year ago. Last summer, when my friend and I went down to Austin, I rubbed my eye too hard apparently, and I scratched the cornea, and I had a miserable week or so, but it got better, no big deal, and I learned not to scratch my eye so hard. So imagine how shocked I was when I was gently rubbing my eye, no problems, remembering that it's possible to scratch my cornea, and somehow managed to actually do it again in my left eye. So I had some medication left over, but when that happens, it makes your eyes extremely light sensitive. And it's blindingly bright here in summer in Texas. Like from the moment the sun comes over the horizon, it is blindingly bright with no clouds in the sky. So bottom line is I spent a week with really bad vision, so bad that I really couldn't work. I couldn't even do my day job very well. Now let's talk about flooring. I started in the back of the cargo trailer and I didn't pop any chalk lines. I just started against the left wall and I thought that that would be straight enough. But as most wide cargo trailers go, they're interrupted by a long wheel well. So I could only go so far. I started working around the wheel well and then I had to start laying the forward rows, and it seemed like it was all lining up. But at the end of the day, after I got like 3 rows towards the center line from the wheel well, the front half and the back half was not lining up well enough to let the new wood planks go down. So I started using shorter planks, and that makes things a little bit easier. But I had made the mistake also of nailing down the first row with a lot of brad nails, because I didn't need it to move, because every time it moved, it made my lining up harder. But ultimately, I realized that I had nailed it in a place that was misaligned with the wood in the front of the cargo trailer. And so I basically had to rip up, like pry up the first row that was nailed down. And so everything was floating, so I could sort of adjust the back half to line up with the front half. And once that got, good, I could continue. And then once I was totally done, I had to go back and basically relay the first row. So now we're looking at pictures of the walls, the plywood walls, and the staining process. And as you may see in the photos, there's some sections that are darker than they should be that I had to redo, because what happened was I bought 2 bottles of a clear stain and then 1 bottle of a medium walnut and mixed them together thinking that would be plenty, but that wasn't even half as much as I needed. But I ended up having the walnut left over and out of clear, but I wanted to finish. So I just kept going with a darker stain thinking it wouldn't be that noticeable. I was doing this mostly in the forward corners up in the bullnose, but unfortunately it was visible. So I ended up pulling off a couple pieces of lumber and sanding the living crap out of it to try to get the dark stain out of it, and then redoing it with the lighter natural color. And that worked pretty well. I can still, if I didn't mention it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell in the finished product, but I can see it with my eyes. The corners are a tad bit darker. Some of the grain looks a little strange, but in those corners, I'm gonna have cabinetry, and it's the kitchen, so I'll have a refrigerator and kitchen cabinets and countertops will cover the vast majority of it, so no big deal. But I guess the moral of the story is don't get impatient when it comes to painting or staining your walls. Get enough material. I would say well more than you think you're going to need, because if you don't use it, you can always return it to the store or to Amazon or wherever, but you probably will need it. And if you're using plywood can be very, very thirsty. Ultimately, I ended up getting triple the amount that I at first thought that I would use. So, moral of the story is be patient, buy plenty of stain, and do it right the first time. Thanks for watching this video, but let's quickly talk about what comes next. Make sure you like and subscribe, because in the next video that's coming very soon, I've got so much to go over. I'm about to start all of the wiring. I went and bought Romex outlets that will be surface mounted. I've got a new sink and a faucet for the sink, and I'll be working on the bed and installing the solar panels and getting all the batteries wired up and finishing out the kick plate. And now that the cargo trailer's been safety inspected, which, oh, I was going to tell you a story about that. I guess I'll save the story for next week. But now that it's safety inspected for Texas, I can register it. So make sure you subscribe for updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.